Good morning. So you've got the players that I've sent. You can start that, or if you want to play anything from your own music, feel free. Just wipe that camera. Looks a little bit misty. Okay, so we're going to start in a seated position this morning. So that can be with the legs crossed, but you can have the legs in front of you. If you need to, put the feet into the mat with a bend in the knee. Whichever seated position feels right for you to have a place of stillness before we start the practice. So if you are in cross-leg position, whichever leg crossed over the other automatically without even thinking about it, just change to the opposite leg. And you can lift the flesh off the seating bone to the pelvis, and the bony part of the bum really connects to the ground. And then we're going to start in stillness with the hands on the knees. I want you to close the eyes halfway and pick something on the floor in front of you to focus on. So the eyes are open, but just kind of halfway, so not closed, not fully open. And you're just going to take a moment to connect in with what's happening in your body today. What's happening with your breath? What's happening with your muscles? Observing it as a third party. So just asking yourself the question, how does my head feel? How does my neck feel? Just checking in with that before we start to move the practice, and also giving the body a chance to just start the morning in a little bit of stillness before we reluctantly jump out of bed and start the day, maybe wanting to stay in bed a little bit longer. Just notice if you can keep the body in complete stillness and just start to connect in with the breath. Start to deepen the inhale through the nose. And as it's a morning practice, let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. As you inhale through the nose, see if you can make your spine a little bit longer, sit a little bit taller. As you exhale out through the mouth, see if you can keep that length in the spine and just let the breath fall out the mouth. So trying to detox the breath before we start the practice this morning. Getting rid of any grogginess from last night's sleep. We're going to take that breath a little bit quicker. So let's take the inhale in through the nose. Shoot the breath out through the mouth. Option to purse the lips as you exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Keep your eyes focused on the point in front of you so you continue to breathe in. Out. In. Out. And then we're going to start to bring the hands in. So keep the breath going as it is. In. Out. This time on the inhale, you're going to take the arms up to cactus. And then in the exhale, take the hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, heart. Inhale, make the spine nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale out. Exhale. 3 more of these. And then on the last one, we're going to hold. Inhale through the nose, hold the breath, hold the arms out like a cactus. Keep the gaze on the floor in front of you with a nice straight spine. Reach the shoulder blades together, hold that breath a little bit longer. And then exhale, let the breath go. Take a couple of breaths at your own pace. Hands are going to come to the knees, and we're just going to start to circle the torso round. So imagining the legs are like stuck in glue so they can't move. You're just going to circle the torso around as if you're leading the movement from the spine, from the belly button. So especially in the morning, especially in a lockdown pandemic morning, it can feel quite stiff and achy around this area where we've not got much movement. So seeing if you can just take the circles a little bit bigger. Option to bring the shoulders and the chin in with it as well. So you can tuck the chin to the chest if that feels nice. Kind of bring the shoulders round as well. So this is a morning practice and we're going to be focusing on balance today. So to do that, we're just trying to shake off any of that tension, any of the stagnant energy in the body, so that we can set the foundations and find a place of stillness. And then changing directions with the spine. So whatever way you were going, just changing the directions. And then when you're ready, gently bringing the spine back to neutral. On the inhale, if your legs are crossed, just gently change the legs so from one to the other. And then we're just going to do a very gentle connection with the breath before we start to flow. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold at the top. See if you can make the spine nice and long as you hold that breath. And then as you exhale out, seal the lips shut and exhale through the nose. This time doing that again, but without the hold. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Seal the lips shut and just exhale through the nose. Seeing if you can continue to connect with that breath for the rest of the practice. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. If you need to hold at the top, especially if we're holding a pose, feel free to do so. Or you're just going to exhale through the nose. And then we're going to release the legs out in front of us. So like I said, we're going to work on balance today. So seeing if you can lift the flesh and the sitting bones coming back to the bony part of the pelvis. And then let's see what our balance is like this morning, even if we're just laying on the mat. So you're going to come back, but you're going to just take the back a little bit. So the hands are coming up to the back of the knees and come to a point where you feel as if you lean back any further, you might fall over. Kind of the bite point of where the posture should be. And then we're going to see if we can just gently lift the right foot off the mat. That's enough for you. You can hold there. Make sure that you're dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine you're trying to shine the chest towards the sky. You can look up to the sky if that helps. And then option to gently lift that left foot to meet the right. You can push the ankles together and the knees together to get a little bit of tension, traction, so that we can hold this for a second. And then option to release the hands in front of the legs. If you've only got one leg in the air or even if your feet are just in front, just stay wherever you are and connect back into that breath. Deep breath in. And out. Gently releasing the legs. Hands are going to come behind you this time. Take the feet at mat width distance. I'm going to come, just going to move the mat actually, so you can see the side. So we're going to come with the hands behind you, depending on what you've got going on with the wrists today. You might want to place the fingers away from you, or you might want to place the fingers towards the bum. It really is a matter of preference. So just making sure that whichever one you do feels right for the wrists. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to connect in to the ground with all four corners. So we've got 2 feet and 2 hands, and you're going to really push in with each of them, and just gently as you push in a little bit more, see if you can lift the hips off the ground. Just a little bit, maybe a couple of inches. And then on the exhale, you're going to take it back down. So really starting to build the foundation. You're going to inhale up through the feet and the hands. Take the hips a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower them back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Each time we move up, see if you can really push into the mat with the hands and the feet. It doesn't matter how high the hips are, as long as they're off the mat, and we're still balancing on the 4 corners of the body. And then option to start to bring the hands in here, or go at your own pace just with the hands on the floor. If you want to, you're going to put all the weight into the left hand, and then in the inhale, you're going to push up, but take the right hand towards the sky. And then in the exhale, you're going to come down. Inhale, left hand, push them hips up. Exhale down. One more each side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Nice. This time you're going to keep the hands behind you so that the weight's coming back into the hands. And then we're going to try that movement again with the hands behind us. So let's lift the right foot up towards the sky and take the hands further away if you need to. And then option to bring the left foot up and just see if you can balance there on the seat bones. Imagine the chest is being lifted up. So if we can lift the chest up, we're taking the pressure off the hips so that the balance is easier for the legs. And then gently crossing the legs, rolling forward, coming forward onto all fours. Starting in tabletop position, and we're just going to start to check in with the spine here. So tucking the tailbone under, seeing if you can keep the shoulders where they are when you do this. So really pushing into the mat with the hands. Tuck the tailbone under. And then on the inhale, you're going to gently drop the belly towards the ground, look up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, scoop the belly in, take the chin to the chest. So come into cat-cow. So take the cat-cow whatever way you want. So everyone's body's different, especially in the morning. You might want to take really small movements, or you might want to take really big movements. So just inhale, look up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Then when you're ready, you're going to tuck the toes towards the mat. Bring the weight back towards the heels. And then we're going to come up to downward dog. But again, we're going to see if we can use them 4 points of the 4 corners of the body. So the 2 hands are really pushed into the mat. Our toes are really pushed into the ground. And then you're going to lift the knees off the ground. And then just gently lift the hips towards the sky. And then find your downward dog this morning. So again, making sure your spine is straight. Hips are nice and high. Pad the heels out if you need to. Get stretching that lower back and the back of the hip, back of the hamstrings. Really padding the heels out, and then when you're ready, you're going to very gently walk the hands up to meet the feet, or feet to meet hands, whichever feels best for you. Come into a forward fold and ragdoll. You're going to very gently lift the chest up, and then see if you can straighten the legs and come to halfway lift. So in halfway lift, our hands are by our shins. The bum is kind of pushing out to get a nice deep flexion back of the legs. Look towards the ground. Imagine there's a nice straight line from the top of the head to the base of the spine. And then option here to take the hands above the head like a straight line on the inhale. And then on the exhale, take the hands behind the bum. So on the inhale, stretch, reach up above the head. And then on the exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach back. And then when you're ready, put in a very generous bend in the knee. We're going to come to standing, rolling the spine up very slowly. Slowly as you can, feeling every vertebrae. Change that camera angle. And then when you get to the top, we're going to go straight back down. So you're going to tuck the chin towards the chest. Really let the hands be heavy, especially first thing in the morning. We want to really stretch out that spine. Roll all the way down, and then when you're ready, you're going to come all the way back. And then we're just going to start to do some circles with the shoulders. So taking the shoulders up towards the ears, and then back down, and then opposite direction. So really starting to just get into the junction of can't speak this morning. The socket, that's the word. Can't say the word, never mind, use it. And then, okay, we're going to come into Tadasana Mountain Pose. So feet together, knees together, thighs together. And this is going to create the foundation for the balance pose. So we really want to make sure that the legs are kind of one nice, strong line towards the ground. So keeping the feet and the knees together, feel that pressure in between the thighs pushing together. Hands are going to come in either side of the body with the palms faced forward. I want you to see if you can tuck your tailbone under, and then see if you can create a little bit more length with the spine, standing nice and tall. And then we're just going to pause here to connect back in with the breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and a deep breath out through the nose. Keeping in mind here your intention, why you got on the mat this morning, why you continued with a regular yoga practice. And then keeping that in your mind as you gently bounce the knees. And then in the inhale, you're going to sweep the hands above the head. And then on the exhale, come back hands to heart. Gently bounce the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. And again, gently bounce the knees. Inhale, reach up. This time on the exhale, we're going to take the hands down to prayer heart center. And you're going to take the left foot back and just step back, kind of one big stride. Enough so that you feel nice and stable. And we're not going to do anything too fancy here, but we're just going to work on the very basics of foundations. So with the feet, I want you to notice where the weight is in the left and the right foot. You can take the feet away from each other. So we're not on a tightrope. We want a little bit of space in between the feet and the diagonal so that the hips are nice and open. Keep the hands at prayer heart center if that feels right for you. Find a place with the feet where you can feel all four corners of the feet connected to the ground. See if you can take the chest up nice and tall, have a nice long spine. Remember, it's first thing in the morning, so we're just trying to start to connect in with our balance so feel nice and grounded and strong. And then on the inhale, you're going to take the hands above the head. On the exhale, you're going to bend that right knee and come forward. On the exhale, come back, straighten that right leg. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, take that right knee forward. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, come back. So just moving with the breath through the inhale and exhale, bending that front knee. Seeing if you can take it a little bit further each time. And then seeing if you can tuck the tailbone under as you come forward. I'm just going to do one more of these on this leg, so bending that right leg. And then as you come up, you're going to keep both legs nice and straight. Hands are going to come to the hips. And here, I want you to make sure that both your feet are facing forward. And again, make sure there's a space between the feet if you can. So there's no point being on a tightrope because we'll lose our balance a little bit. So hands are going to come to the hips, both legs are straight. Take the chest nice and tall, and then you're going to hinge at the hips and see if you can fold over. So you might not get very far this morning, the hamstrings might not let you. See wherever you can get so that both legs can stay straight. and the chest is just folding a little bit further towards that right leg. Noticing the feet here, so really pushing into the mat with the feet, feeling nice and grounded and stable. Take one deep breath in, and then exhale, come back up. Gently walk the left foot to meet the right, setting ourselves back into Tadasana again. So feet are going to come together, knees together, thighs together, hands either side of the body. And then to check in with the balance before we go to the other side, I want you to look right in front of you and find a nice long straight spine. Keep the feet where they are, but just gently take the weight into the left and right foot. So we're not lifting the feet off the ground as such, we're just gently playing with the weight, noticing the left and the right foot pushing into the mat as we change sides. You might start to feel the legs and the glutes start to activate as you do this. And then gently stepping back with that right foot coming to the opposite side. So again, taking them out either side, making sure the feet feel nice and stable, taking the hips so that face forward. And then option with the hands to be at prayer if we want to release either side of the body. And then on the inhale, option to take the hands above the head. And then on the exhale, just bend that left knee and take it forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Seeing if you can use the core here. So when you come down and bend the knee, see if you can tuck the tailbone under. And as you come back up, see if you can pull with the stomach. Inhale forward. Exhale back. So really starting to weight the legs up here, which are going to be our foundation for our balances. Moving forward at your own pace with the inhale, exhale. Remember what we're doing. We're using every part of the body for the pose. So the arms can reach up or either side of the body. Really using the legs for one more inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten both legs. Again, make sure feet are facing forward. And then you're going to fold at the hips. See if you can fold that chest over towards the left thigh. Hands can just fold wherever they fall. And again, you might get a little bit further on one side than the other, but just starting to be a little bit curious about the body. Starting to really stretch out any of that grogginess from last night's sleep that's still stored in the legs and the hips. Use the breath here. Really connecting in with the deep inhale, exhale. And then gently come back up. And then we're just going to kick the legs out, give them a shape. And then kick the arms out as well. So just getting rid of any of that stagnant energy that's coming up as we move the body. Start to heat up a little bit. And then we're going to start to come to a more balancing part. So testing our foundations. And again, if first thing in the morning especially, or even some days we're just a little bit more wobblier than others. So try not to get too frustrated if your balance isn't great this morning. So we're going to start with the left foot in the mat. And again, let's just keep both feet on the mat. And let's just bring all the weight onto the left foot. So the right foot's still touching the mat, but you can feel the left side of the body starting to activate. See if you can tuck that tailbone under. And then you're going to see if you can lift that right knee towards the chest. If you need the hand on the knee to help you, can do. And if that's too much for you, you can just gently point the foot towards the mat and then just lift it off very slightly. So the idea here is that we're activating that left leg. And then on the inhale, you're going to take the arms out like a cactus. And then option to take that right knee and just see if you can take it out to the right very slightly. Option to look to the left hand. And then gently back to center. Lowering that right foot behind you this time. And then you're going to just gently drop that right knee. And then you're going to come back up and lift that right leg. Again, option to take it out to the side. Gently back to center. And then gently place that right foot behind you. And then just drop the right knee. Doesn't have to touch the floor. Just bend in the legs. One more. Come back up. That right knee to the chest if you can. Or maybe just in front of you, lower. Take it out to the side so we're getting an opening in the hip. Back to center. And then just take that right foot behind you. Just drop that right knee. Feeling a stretch in the front of the right quad. Gently coming back to center. Feet together and bringing all the weight into the right this time. Seeing if you can really feel the right side of the body starting to activate before we do this on the opposite side. And then again, option with the left foot, you can point it in front of you, that's enough for you, or lift it off the ground. See if you can bring the left knee towards the chest. And then you're going to really start to activate the right glute here. So if you losing your wobble, if you're starting to wobble, you can use your hands for balance. See if you can take that left leg out to the side, back to center, and then we just step that left foot behind us and just drop that left knee. So as we come forward, you push into that right foot, lifting the left knee towards the sky. Take it out to the side, back to center, gently back, and then dropping that left knee. So we should start to feel the right glute starting to work a little bit here. One more, really push that right foot into the mat. Use the hands to balance if you need to. Gently step back, lowering the leg. And then gently back together again. Feet are going to come together, thighs together, hands either side of the body. Let's make sure that we're stood nice and straight. Really nice, long spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to step forward with the right foot. And then we're going to come to warrior one. So in warrior one, the feet are faced forward. The back heel can be off the mat, or you can place it down. That's a pet option for you. See if you can take the legs on a split so that there's a little bit of space between them. And then in warrior one, we're going to take that right leg, the right knee over the right toes. The arms are going to come towards the sky. Make sure that the hips are faced forward. We don't want the hips faced toward the left. We want them to be faced forward. And then you're going to take the arms above either side of the head towards the sky. Bend forward with that right knee. And then really lengthen into the spine. And then we're going to start to circle the arms. So keep the body where it is and just circle the arms all the way back towards the sky, like a nice big circle. But keeping the body where it is, really tucking the tailbone under, using the core. Circle the arms. And then you're going to start circling the opposite direction, so taking the arms back. You might find one a bit more difficult than the other. Just taking it at your own pace for one more. And then when you're ready, coming back to warrior one, straightening that front leg. And then seeing if you can walk yourself so that you're in a side split. So feet are going to face forward, and then we're just going to very gently fold over the body here before we move to the other side. And then option to start to bend one leg and straighten the other, and then option for the other. So again, we're in a balance here of some sort with the legs. The main focus into the ground, nice and wide stance. Just starting to move from left to right, starting to get into the muscles of the hip and the groin and the thigh. And then gently back up to standing. Walk the feet to meet each other. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So this time we're stepping back with the right foot, coming to warrior one. So again, set up for warrior one with your feet face forward. Back heel can be off the mat, or it can be down at a bit of an angle, whichever feels right for the hips. Hips can be faced forward, and then you want to really bend that left knee so it tracks over the left toe. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, and see if you can melt that knee a little bit closer, a little bit further. So really bend into that front knee. And then we're going to keep the body where it is, and we're just going to start to circle the arms again. Taking it quick if that feels right for you, but making sure that you keep the balance nice and strong. And then when you're ready, gently changing direction. Making sure that front leg is nice and bent, feet are nice and strong into the mat. And then gently slowing the arms down, straightening the front leg. Option to take it to a side lunge, a side wide stance as well. And just gently fold over. Again, option to bend the left and the right knee from side to side. Just starting to wake up into the hips. And then when you're ready, gently walking the feet to meet each other. And then we're coming to a more challenging balance this morning. So again, just taking it step by step and just seeing which level suits you to finish with this morning. So making sure the feet are nice and strong into the mat. Look down to the feet and then lift all 10 toes off the ground and just start to pad the weight from left to right. So the toes are off the ground, you're just starting to pad the weight from left to right. Really starting to connect with the ground with the feet. And then when you're ready, bring all the weight into the left foot. Drop drop your left toes onto the mat. And then bring that right foot, and your option to bring it to your left heel. You're going to really need to lift the spine here so that the weight's not kind of all dumping down. We want to lift the weight up. Option to keep it there with the right knee out to the side. You're going to bring the hands out like branches of a tree. And then option to lift that right foot to the left part. Really activate that left glute so that it's really nice and strong. And then option, if you feel balanced enough, you can give that right foot a little bit of a hand and lift it up to the inner thigh. So this actually looks a little bit more difficult than it is. Just see if you can make sure that that left leg is nice and strong. Find the point where that right foot's pushing into the left leg. Take the hands out like a T or like branches of a tree. You can take them up towards the sky. Find your balance this morning, connect back in with the breath. Focus on the breath, take a deep breath in wherever you are. Feel nice and strong, nice and present, nice and tall. One more deep breath in. And then wherever you are on the exhale, you're going to release that right leg in front of you and see if you can kick the leg in front of you. Start to circle the ankles. In fact, let's give the wrist a circle as well. Ankles and wrists, why not? And then gently place that right foot back down. Kicking the energy out of the legs. Maybe giving a little bit of a bounce, hands and feet, give a bit of shake. And then let's come to the opposite side. So again, lift all 10 toes, bring the weight from left to right. Start to feel the legs starting to activate as you go from left to right. And then come into the right foot, drop the toes. Option to bring that left foot to the left ankle, if that's enough for you. Or you can take it to the calf, or option to bring it up so that the left foot is in the right thigh. Option for the hands to go out, remembering to lift the spine up to take the pressure off that foot. So if the body's lifting up, the foot is there for balance rather than taking all the weight if we're nice and heavy. Hold them wherever you are and use the breath. If you feel wobbly, the more you breathe, the more your attention will go to the breath and not to what wobbling. Life hack that happens off the mat as well. But right now we're just focused on the balance. So taking a deep breath in. Hold wherever you are. Feel them feet really rooted through the ground. And then on the exhale, take that left knee in front, kick the foot out, start to circle the wrists and the ankles. And then gently coming back to Tadasana. So feet together, knees together, thighs together. And then I want you to close down the eyes this time. I want you to just start to notice the body nice and tall. Notice if it feels a little bit wobbly. You can walk the feet away from each other to get a little bit more grounding sensation. And then gently blink the eyes open halfway. I want you to come up onto the tiptoes, lifting the heels off the ground on the inhale. And then as you exhale, take the heels towards the ground and lift the toes off the mat. Inhale, lift the heels up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, lift the toes. So you might not be able to lift the toes much, but even just the movement of forward and back, start to notice the balance. Remembering to move with the breath, so taking a breath in as you go up to the heels. Exhale, come back. One more, inhale up. Exhale back. And then gently walking the feet a little bit away from each other. On the inhale, you're going to take your hands towards the hips. Make the spine nice and long. And then on the exhale, let's fold over, come back to halfway lift. So hands are going to come towards the shins or just hovering in that area. Nice, long, straight spine. And then the inhale, let's take the hands above the head again. And on the exhale back. So really locking the knees here if you can. If you can't, that's fine, but just make sure that you're protecting the lower back by tucking the tailbone under. As you inhale, reach up. As you exhale down. And then keeping the body where it is, you're just going to start to circle the arms again. So taking the arms above the head, but this time seeing if you can, you probably need to bend the elbows, but just taking them in big, because if you're doing kind of brush through, taking the arms round in circles. And then gently changing direction and taking them in the opposite side. And then gently come back to halfway lift. This time you're going to let the chest fall as much as it can. Keeping the legs straight if you can. And then you're going to bend one knee at a time. So just gently moving from left to right. If the legs can't straighten, that's fine. Just bending one knee more than the other. Starting to wake up into the back of the legs. And then gently using the hands on the hips. Keep a bend in the knee. And you're going to very slowly roll up to standing. And then we're going to tuck the chin. We're going to roll back down again. So really getting into the back, spine. And then on the one more breath, bring it right back up to standing. And then we're going to finish the practice in standing position this morning. So keeping the feet with a nice step out, so kind of hip width distance, maybe a little bit more, whatever feels right, so that you feel nice and balanced. And then you're going to clasp the hands behind the back. If you can't interlink the fingers, you're going to grab opposite elbows, or you're just going to grab the back of the shirt. Either way, the hands are behind the lower back. And then I want you to pinch the shoulder blades together, drop the hands away from the body, so see if you can kind of pull the hands away from the body a little bit. Imagine you've got a grapefruit between the chin and the chest, nice tall spine. And then we're just going to very gently hold the arms where they are. Just very gently look over the left shoulder. And then gently back. On the inhale, look over the right shoulder. And then gently back. Inhale left. Exhale back. Keep the spine neutral. Just take them hands away from the body a little bit more with the breath. And then as you release the hands, you're just going to gently sway from side to side and let the arms kind of flap from side to side, maybe hitting the body. Keeping the eyes open, making sure we're staying connected to the breath. Feeling the feet rooted through the ground. And then when you're ready, start to slow down the movement. See if you can just let the arms slow down very gradually. And then when you eventually come to a place of stillness, walk the feet back together to meet each other. Knees together, thighs together, feet together. Start finishing with one nice, long, straight stance. So the legs are nice and straight, spine nice and straight. Hands are going to come either side of the body. Gentle bounce in the knee. On the inhale, take the hands above the head. And on the exhale, come back down to center. Gently bounce the knee. On the inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart at prayer at heart center. Gently look towards the hands. Being grateful to yourself for spending 30 minutes this morning with the breath and movement. And however balanced or unbalanced you felt, just being grateful that you started the day, feeling a little bit more grounded, a little more connected to the breath. Hoping you can take that balance into the day today. Maybe just have a little play around, be a little bit playful with the balance when you're waiting for tea or waiting for the computer to load. See if you can just start to enjoy balancing from left to right. Thank you very much for letting me practice with you this morning. Option to bow your head and your hands towards the practice and to each other. Namaste. Namaste.